What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarisse.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That's right. Spoilers.
If you
Spoilers.
have not seen the end of WandaVision, stop watching right now.
Spoilers. Do you remember the Ant-Man 2? I think it was Ant-Man 2 trailer. It was just Paul Rudd and not Martin Sheen. Is it Martin Sheen? No, it's not. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh no. But they're doing the Ant-Man thing. They're doing the ants thing, like ants.
Oh yeah.
Ants. I want to be like spoilers.
Oh
Spoilers.
God.
This is the spoiler talk for the season finale of WandaVision Season 1, which is also titled the series finale, implying that there will not be a Season 2.
I mean, I figured.
I don't think that's a spoiler, but that is the last non-spoiler we'll probably talk about here. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, come back later. Watch it. The show's very good.
Yeah.
Spoiler
I don't know
alert.
what you're doing, but it's great.
The show's very good. How did you feel about the finale as a whole? General thoughts, and then we'll get into what happened.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wah-wah-wee-wah.
There was there was a lot going on. They had a lot to wrap up, and I think that they did it well.
They had less to wrap up than I thought. Because there's things that I thought they were going to wrap up that they just didn't.
They didn't. They left open.
And I'm okay. And like I was like, oh, the ending of that story doesn't happen here, and that's okay.
Yeah. And I think I think that was smart of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times when you're watching something, the ending has to be huge and cram-filled with everything you could possibly ever think that you want. And honestly, it didn't feel like that to me.
I've never heard anyone use the term cram-filled.
Well, you're welcome.
You know, sometimes they feel cram-filled.
Hashtag cram-filled.
Hashtag cram-filled.
Wow, I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable now.
You said it.
I did. You know, it did come out of my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially, like, Monica Rambeau. Mm-hmm. They gave her a really solid moment in this episode where she dives in front of the kids and takes the bullets and uses her powers to stop that.
Yeah.
But they don't really do much to wrap up her story in this. And I was fine with that. The post-credit scene that teased her future was nice, and it teased like, oh no, this is the start of Monica's story. This isn't Monica's story.
Yeah, and that's what I was a little bit worried was going to happen, is that it would become her story instead. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm really happy that they focused on, like, the story was very focused.
Yeah, it was.
And I can really appreciate that.
The one complaint I have before we get into what happened was, we never met the aerospace engineer. And I know the internet...
No.
Matt Shakman, the director of WandaVision, has apologized. He finished his apology with mea culpa, mea maxima culpa, which is interesting because the only time I've heard that in pop culture, I know it's like Latin and I know it's old and it's probably been said many times. The only version of it I know is from Sweeney Todd. Not the movie version, because they cut out the song because it's creepy. But in the stage version of Sweeney Todd, Judge Turpin sings that at the beginning of his song where he is confessing to God that he is sexually attracted to his ward, Joanna. Mm-hmm. And so I read that tweet and I was like, that made me good. That brought up a memory that I didn't want to have. Of
yeah, you're like, oh, that's not
doing Sweeney Todd at the New York Philharmonic. But Matt Shakman has officially apologized for not making more of the aerospace engineer thing. He didn't think it was that important.
Whereas the internet lost their shit.
Yeah, I mean, people were literally like, this is Reed Richards, this is the introduction of the Fantastic Four. And I have to imagine the people behind WandaVision were watching that going,
damn it. Like,
wait, we never actually introduced that person.
Yeah.
I'm now that we're on the other side of it, I'm kind of surprised they didn't just put out a thing that was like, hey, that's not don't
like when
stop.
the internet started like hyping it up.
Please.
That they weren't like But here's the thing, there's no reason for them to do that, because then the hype around the show is only helpful for them, even if
yeah in a way,
like
yeah So let's start from the top. The top of this episode, we got the moment-to-moment continuation of last episode.
Yes.
On the street, Billy and Tommy have their purple magic leashes on their necks. Agatha is informing the Scarlet Witch that she's the Scarlet Witch, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And she immediately kind of brings up this prophecy that the Scarlet Witch is destined to destroy the world. We also know that the Scarlet Witch is going to play a big part in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Is Wanda the villain of Doctor Strange 2?
Who knows?
Because the last time we had like a prophecy about world destruction in the MCU was in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
The prophecy that Surtur was going to destroy, not Valhalla, Asgard. Thank you so much. I've been playing a lot of Valheim, and I have all these Norse mythology words in my head. But the last prophecy was that Surtur was going to destroy Asgard, and he did, or they did. Does Surtur have a gender? I don't know. Yeah, do demonic fire beasts have genders?
I don't know.
Does it matter? The prophecy came true, and so they brought up like WandaVision is destined to destroy the Earth, and I'm like, is the MCU gonna destroy Earth?
Well, here's the thing with like multiverses and superhero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bad things happen, and then they find a way to fix them. Sometimes,
Asgard's gone.
Yeah.
Asgard is in like
but
on
also,
like a coast of Finland now.
Yeah, but also like Thanos killed half of existence.
True.
They fixed that.
Maybe she destroys another Earth. Maybe they like open up the multiverse, and maybe Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness is Wanda and Doctor Strange going from Earth to Earth, trying to find the right one for her to destroy to satisfy the prophecy.
Oh my god. They're like, no, not this one.
And they get to like the Fox
vegan.
X-Men universe, and they're like, this is it. Yeah. Wolverine's dead.
That's it. That is how Marvel ends the Fox X-Men universe.
It's just the end of the movie.
Oh god, I would love for that, but I don't actually think that's.
They just find footage of people looking up from all those movies, and so the movie it just ends with like James Marsden looking up at the sky, and then like the New Mutants looking up at the sky, and all these people look up at the sky, and then blackout.
Oh god, that would be absurd.
Oh man,
I love it.
I would be sad. I like half of those movies.
Half is generous.
No, I like almost every other one chronologically. It's kind of funny. If you look at it, it's like X-Men, it's fine. X-Men, the first X-Men is fine. It's a good movie. The leather's a bit much. X2, brilliant. Phenomenal. X3,
Yikes.
no. What's after X3? Then I think it's Wolverine Origins. Or Origins Wolverine.
Right.
No, that's a no. But then like First Class, Days of Futures Past, pretty great. I guess it's not every other one. It's like bad, too good, bad, too good, too bad.
It's confusing.
I can't remember the order anymore.
Anyways.
That's not the point. We're talking about WandaVision. So WandaVision is destined to... Have we talked about WandaVision at all yet?
We have a little bit, yes.
A little bit, okay,
yes.
okay. Wanda sends her kids to their room.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely safe there from the evil witch woman. And she starts to fight Agatha, and Agatha starts to, like, take her powers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was very worried. Well, because we watched her in the scene with her coven, I'm assuming, literally sap all of their powers. And I was like, oh no, oh no, Wanda. But I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know where that was going. I'm out of practice.
Okay,
struggle.
that was a sentence. Yeah. So I'm glad we got to go back to that sequence. Wanda and Agatha end up. Wanda uses the same power that she used to give Tony Stark the vision in Age of Ultron. That ended up bringing about Ultron. Ended up bringing about his feelings about Ultron and all of his negativity that led to Civil War. But it was really interesting that she used that power again, brought Agatha back to the moment. Because, when we first saw that moment, I was kind of like, what is the overall purpose of this?
Yeah.
Why are we seeing this? And it was really interesting to go back to that Coven moment and see that even when Wanda uses her powers, Agatha is still able to, within Wanda's powers, manipulate what is happening and use it to her own gain. And it's fun because later in the episode, I feel like we'll just talk about the Wanda Agatha thing and then we'll go to the other stuff. But later in the episode, when we see Wanda use in that really, really well shot sky battle where they're shooting each other in the sky, and Agatha's just absorbing the power over and over again, and you're like, wow, Wanda's kind of giving up here. It seems like. The turn on that is that Agatha goes to attack back when she finally has all the power, and she's got no magic. It's all gone because Wanda has put the runes in the sky that Agatha had used in her basement to stop Wanda from using her powers. And I thought it was a really nice play on, in the Coven scene, Agatha turns Wanda's ability against her and uses Wanda's ability to make you see your worst nightmare against Wanda. And then later on in that same fight, Wanda uses Agatha's abilities against her. And, the final kind of thing we're left with Wanda is her leaving town going, I don't understand these powers yet, but I'm going to. And it was really nice to see... People kind of talk about Marvel as having this... these characters have their exact foils in a lot of these movies.
Okay.
Captain America fights Red Skull, who has the same powers as him, essentially. Iron Man fights Big Iron Man. We'll call him Obadiah Stane's Iron Man suit.
Big Iron Man.
Black Panther fights literally Black Panther.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies, the first movies of these characters, they have the bad guy has the same powers. Ant-Man fights Yellow Jacket. We've seen this a lot. It was nice to see Agatha be another witch and be sort of the exact foil to Wanda, but using power in a completely different way.
Yeah. In
a way that informed how Wanda is learning about her own power.
Yeah, it was really cool to see them kind of turn that on its head. The Scarlet Witch has immense power, but Agatha has most likely hundreds of years of experience and knowledge.
Yeah. She got that book learning.
Yeah. And she's
a nerd.
She can.
What a freaking nerd!
And she can actually execute the things she wants to execute. Whereas what we've seen with Wanda is Wanda has all this power and does not know how to control it and/or use it properly. Westview,
clearly she has no idea what she's doing.
No, she really doesn't know what she's doing, and it was really, I think, a smart moment to have her victory come from learning and attempting to understand herself and what she's capable of.
Yeah, and in an interesting way, using traditional, what this world would consider to be traditional magic. It is interesting that Doctor Strange has never come to Wanda about any of this stuff. They're both magic users. They know each other. It is odd that they...
It seems like different magic.
It seems like different magic, but it is the book that... I'm not sure if this is 100% confirmed, but it looks like the book that Agatha has is the book that was missing from the Ancient One's library in Doctor Strange.
Okay, yeah.
And it seems like all magic in this world is connected somehow. Because, Wanda has different magic than Agatha, but they're connected. And in this episode, Agatha does bring up that the Scarlet Witch is said to have power exceeding that of the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting. They really did a good job of saying, hey, Wanda and Doctor Strange, they're on a path together now.
Yeah.
This episode really put those two characters on a path together in the future. And, honestly, now Doctor Strange 2 wouldn't make sense without WandaVision, based on what we've learned in this episode.
Yeah.
It would be weird for her not to be there now, because it does feel like their fates are intertwined by Agatha's knowledge of them and this prophecy of you're going to destroy the earth. Or she says the world, so, might not be earth. The other character that finally makes it back is Vision. This character can fly. It's taken him 3 episodes to get across town. Wanda can walk across town in heels in about 6 minutes. But Vision, who can fly, takes him 3 to 4 episodes.
Yeah,
to get from the wherever the truck hit the red light.
Well, here's the thing. The circus that they were driving from was kind of on the edge of town, right? And so it seems to take them a while to drive back in, which, like, that to me makes more sense in my head than Sword driving their tanks through the barrier because it opens up and arriving downtown in about a minute and a half.
But White Vision managed to get from Swords outside the Hex to Wanda faster than Red Vision got to Wanda.
Well, yeah, he flew. I don't know why Red Vision
But Red
didn't
Vision
fly.
was also flying.
No, they were
In that moment,
truck.
White Vision gets there. White Vision is also here, y'all. He was in the... But, like, White Vision gets to Wanda. He grabs her by the face, and he's squeezing her face.
Yeah.
And then Red Vision body checks him, right?
Yeah.
So how did White Vision get there faster than Red Vision?
Because Red Vision was in the vehicle
but he left
before
the truck,
he decided to fly.
But he left the truck like 3 episodes. He was like, why am I waiting for this? And he flies up out of the truck and he takes off. We don't see him again.
Right.
Then White Vision has Wanda. What was he doing? Where was he? At the end of that episode, he gets pissed off by the red light. He flies up out of the truck, and we assume he's flying to Wanda, right? Like, there's no other place for him to go. And then we just never see him until White Vision is about to kill Wanda, and Red Vision's like, all right, now.
I think this is the moment.
I think this is...
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, where were you? Like, what were you doing, dude?
Yeah, the timing of that is a little bit weird.
Your children were kidnapped. Like, a lot of stuff went down.
Yeah, that you probably could have helped with.
But White Vision and Red Vision start fighting. And at first, very physical battle. Very cool. Very well shot. Having 2 characters that can phase in combat with each other is really cool to watch, and they used it really well.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I loved those visuals.
Yeah, I really loved it.
White Vision looks great.
Until they end up in the library, and Vision turns a logic puzzle on White Vision. And I really appreciated this. I loved both of these actual fights, the 2 big fights of this thing. Both kind of ended the same way, right? They were physical fights. There was magic. There was eye beams. There was punches and throws and chaos blasts and whatever. And both of them kind of came down to intelligence. Yeah. And Wanda used intelligence to take away Agatha's ability to use magic, and Vision used his knowledge of computer programming and the fact that he is a synthezoid or android or whatever himself to stop White Vision through the use of intellect. And I appreciated that both of these fights came down to the main characters going outthinking their opponent. And it really cemented why I love these 2 characters so much and why there's so much more story to be told. I'm so glad that White Vision got the original Vision's memories back into him.
Me too.
And then took off and is gone.
Yeah, that's...
He didn't immediately go to Wanda and be like, I remember, I love you.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, because
White Vision is gone. We have no idea what happened to him. He left.
Gone in the sense that he left Westview. Not gone. He's somewhere.
Yeah, he flew off.
Red Vision, gone.
Yes.
Very sadly.
Yes.
That was very touching.
Yeah, those last few moments where they, like, tuck their kids into bed and then, like... God.
Do you think Tommy and Bobby come back?
Well, based on that post-credit scene, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think they would. I thought that this was going to wrap them up, and it was... Because that would make sense to me. You know, they were a product of this... of Westview, and how, like, real are they? Like, they never... It's weird because what are their memories like? Because they've lived, like, 8 days.
Yeah, and they kind of, like, they are intelligent because they're creations of Wanda's brain. Like, they're not real in any way.
Yeah, it's very, like, that is a big conundrum. That I thought that they would just, like, wrap up with, like, okay, Westview is done, and they're gone, basically. But then that post-credit scene, while Wanda was studying the book, she could hear them asking for help.
Well, and it's interesting. It reminded me of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where Kingpin, the whole conflict of Spider-Man is that Kingpin is trying to use the multiverse matter gun thing to bring a version of his wife and son from another universe into his because he misses them so much.
Yeah.
And so there was a part of me that was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, are we going, because we heard them, right? We heard them call out for her in that final post-credit scene. And I was just kind of like, are we going to be pulling in a Bobby and Tommy from somewhere else? Or will that be a pull for WandaVision in Doctor Strange 2? And Doctor Strange has to walk her back. And she has, like, it's just...
Yeah, like, are they going to show up in Multiverse of Madness?
How many times is this woman going to get traumatized with loss?
I don't know.
Like, just...
I feel so bad.
Repetitive.
Like, just give Wanda something happy. She's literally lost everything.
You know what I think would make her happy?
What?
If she ended up with Jimmy Woo. Wanda and Jimmy Woo should go on a date. And Wanda should just date a normal dude who knows sleight of hand magic. And they could be a little team. You know what I mean? Like, he does sleight of hand magic. She does real magic. You know?
Oh my god.
I think that Wanda needs just, like, a kind of cute, goofy, charming dude who has a solid job. You know, 401k, pension, benefits. You know, I bet Jimmy Woo has dental.
Do you think Wanda needs dental, or could she just, like...
Good point. She doesn't need benefits. But you know what? She needs a man like Jimmy Woo. Because we all need a man like Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo was so gosh darn charming in this episode.
That's true. We need more of him, please.
The fact that he stole that phone and was able to unlock it.
I know.
I was kind of like, what? The director...
He's a hacker now?
Shield doesn't... Sword. These Sword members don't put a passcode on their phones?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm an entertainer, and I have a 6-digit password, and, like, you can get into my phone, but other than you, no one can get into my phone.
Was it maybe his phone? That they had, like, confiscated and
then put on the table in front of him?
I don't know.
That was weird.
But otherwise, I really don't know. Unless he called Kat Dennings, who's like, how do I hack into this phone?
But how would he have called from the phone that...
Right, that doesn't work. Never mind.
He used the emergency call feature.
Well, no, that's what it is. He used the emergency call feature. He used 911. He's like,
hi, Wait. He used the emergency call. That's right. That's right. I'm an idiot.
No, I was very confused as well. It's like, how does that work?
It took us.
We got it.
It took us a 22-minute video to figure out how Jimmy Woo unlocked the phone.
Well, you know what? It's a legitimate question.
It is. We got to see Bobby and Tommy use their powers.
Yeah.
Little Wiccan with his little blue magic.
Yeah.
I love that his magic is the color of the
like original
the Coven's
Coven magic. Yeah.
Yeah, Wiccan goes back to the original Coven's magic, which is I don't know if it's an homage to that Coven or if it's an homage to Quicksilver's color. Because his magic is the same color as the speed that his brother is using. And so it was interesting to see him use blue. It was nice to have all the different colors of magic in the episode.
Yeah, my original thought was that, like, oh, magic is blue, like they've set it up to be blue, but Doctor Strange
is orange.
It's like yellowy orange. Yeah. And so I don't know. But I feel like it's going to be significant.
I think that it is depending on, like, what kind of magic you're practicing, right? Like, I think that Agatha is tainting blue. And because purple is blue and red, right?
Yeah.
So Agatha's magic is, if this is like on color theory, Agatha's magic is between chaos magic and normal magic. If, assuming that normal, like, witchcraft magic is blue.
It's blue, yeah.
Then what Agatha's doing is she is pulling normal magic towards the chaos, which implies that Wanda's magic is like the dark magic, and it kind of is.
Well, I mean, yeah, if she's destined to, like, end the world, even if it's by accident.
And she can't really control it. I think the big question coming out of this episode is Wanda still a good person? And I think that it's a complicated question,
yeah,
right?
it's complicated, but yes, she frees everyone. She does the right thing. It takes her a week or so to do it.
But it is a question of, is it too late?
Well, it was an accident. You know what I mean? Like, we've been led to believe that she created Westview kind of accidentally, and her magic clearly, like, can take on a life of its own and overwhelm her in a sense. And I I don't think that like absolves her, but I don't think that makes her a bad person. I don't think she consciously was like, I'm going to control the minds.
But she knew that she was doing it.
She did know she was doing it, but she was also in the middle of it. And here's the thing. I don't think she intentionally created and made it happen. But then once you're in there and you have vision and you have a life there, it's a lot harder to let that go than it is to like she can convince herself in that moment because she can see the people that they're fine, they're happy, they're okay, they're not in pain. Like, she probably did not know that they were like in pain or would remember any of this.
Oh, she seemed very surprised when she learned that.
Yeah.
But does that make it okay? I think that
it's not okay, but I don't think she's a bad person.
We went really hard on Wonder Woman 1984 for the Steve Trevor taking over the body thing.
Yeah.
And how that kind of ruins Wonder Woman because she isn't a good person for going along with that.
Yes, but that's also because, like, she has sex with this man's body and things like that. Whereas, like, we've kind of seen that, like, people go about their daily lives, especially when they're surrounding her. But when you go further out, they kind of just stop.
Right, but they're aware of the fact that they're stopped. And that, like Dottie was saying, her daughter's just trapped in a room. Yeah. And they're aware of that. Like,
yes.
Wanda
probably didn't know that.
And that's the problem. It's like knowledge, right? Yeah. And I guess the difference is kind of that Wonder Woman knew that all she had to do was sacrifice this one thing, and things would go. I guess Wonder Woman was being more selfish, but it is also interesting that they're very different story. They're the same story essentially. But
they're very different. Also, it's been 70 years for Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And it's just tough. I feel differently about it. Like, I'm acknowledging that I feel differently about it. I have a harder
Wanda is
time.
Traumatized.
I have a harder time with the storytelling of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Than I do this.
Yeah.
And
this makes it complicated. This acknowledges that this is complicated because people's lives are being screwed with, whereas in Wonder Woman they do not acknowledge that Steve is in another person's body and they don't know what's happening to him. It's never talked about.
Yeah, and I guess that Wanda feels the effects of that.
Yes. Wonder Woman never does. Never for a moment has a thought about this dude who's just been taken over by Steve Trevor. And
I guess the saving grace of it doesn't completely absolve her, obviously. I do think that she is in the wrong.
Yes.
But when she finds out that she's harming people, she immediately does what she can to stop it. You know what I mean? And it is a little late. It's not perfect. It is still objectively wrong what she's done. But at least in that moment she makes the right call immediately.
Yeah.
But it's still it is still questionable to me.
Yeah, the other difference that I think is that when I think of Wonder Woman, I think of her as like a pillar of strength and morality and goodness. When I think
of this 2,000-year-old god.
Yes. When I think of WandaVision, she is a traumatized woman who is like still figuring out who she is and what this means for her. You know, Wonder Woman has had a lot of time and a lot of influence to be good. Like, Wonder Woman is supposed to be good, whereas Scarlet Witch is more complicated.
Well, and is traditionally bad. Wanda has traditionally messed up a lot. Like, that's kind of her character's. Yeah. Read No More Mutants. Or, read, read House of M. Sorry if I just spelled the ending.
Oh, God. It's fine. It's fine. It's old. You can't...
Yeah, it's what, 17 years old now?
Yeah, it's fine.
House of M 2004?
Yeah.
Great comic book.
I see the comparisons that you're making between the two, but I also think that, I think we've done a good job talking about what those differences are.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They are different.
It was striking me watching this episode that I was like, I was so... And I think part of it for me, I think, might be the difference between television and a film. I feel like we explored so much of it in this. And also, like, it's tough, right? Because, like, how much time passed? This entire incident was what? Like,
like
5 days?
10 days. No. It's at least 8. There's somewhere, for some reason my brain is pulling, like, they said 8 days in one of the past few episodes. So I'm assuming it's no more than 10 days. But it's somewhere between, like, 8 and 10 days.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I don't know if that's right, but for some reason, it's in there.
It is interesting. It's just a conversation of and here's the difference. I think that Wanda, I think it depends on the next storytelling for Scarlet Witch. I think that if the next storytelling is about her knowing she was wrong and trying to absolve that, I think that is very interesting. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's room there's room for her to be more complicated. I don't think the next Wonder Woman movie is going to be like, oh, I messed up in that. I think that movie kind of ends with her being like, I'm a great person.
Yeah.
And that might be the difference for me. I think the difference might be that how they end the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Wonder
Wanda
Woman
clearly feels bad.
Well, and Wonder Woman ends with that, like, Hallmark movie, the Hallmark Christmas movie moment.
Yeah.
That you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Where she meets the guy who she kidnapped his body, and she's, like, smiling, like, I saved the world.
Yeah.
Whereas this really ends with Wanda putting her hood up and being like, they're never going to forgive me, and that's the right thing to do. I'm going to go live in in Canada.
Yeah. She goes up to Banff.
Is there any big moment in this in the episode that we didn't touch on? Haywood got arrested, although I don't really know what for. I'm not 100% sure I understand what he did wrong legally.
Legally, well, I mean,
the episode was kind of like, you did bad with the white vision, and I'm like, how?
Well, I mean,
what was he actually?
His goal was literally to eliminate Wanda.
Yes, because she kidnapped a town of Americans.
No, before that.
No, he didn't try and kill her.
He
could have just killed her when she was in S.W.O.R.D.
No, I know. Here's the weirdest
They had
part
guns
about
on
that.
her. She broke in. She broke the window. She was touching. Like there's.
It seemed like
I don't
she
know
was
what he
being
did wrong.
Manipulated from the start, and I don't.
I totally get what you're saying. I'm saying that, like, what did he do that was wrong? Like, legitimately wrong.
He's being arrested because he did not disclose all the information.
He's the director of S.W.O.R.D. Who is he supposed to disclose information to? I don't know, like, Jimmy Woo was like, gotcha, and I was like, on what charge?
Well, maybe
he's the director of S.W.O.R.D.
He's not charged with anything.
His job, I don't think we'll see him again, but his job is to lead the superpowered weapon division of the you know what I mean? Like, that's his job. Wanda kidnapped a town of people and was holding them hostage, and he sent in the S.W.O.R.D's weapon to kill her.
Yeah.
After 8 to 10 days of sending in multiple different things telling her to stop. I just am kind of like, I don't really see what he did wrong. I don't, like, from legal standpoint, he didn't have to give her vision. That was not his directive legally. Like, I get that he's the villain of this series, but I don't know why. If I was in that town and they were like, yeah, this government guy sent in this guy to kill the witch that was holding a whole town of people hostage, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds like America. Yeah. That sounds like the thing that we do. The show kind of ended with a, like, got him. And I was like,
yeah.
Got him doing what? What did he do?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, at what point was he in the wrong? And I can't give you a time that he did something wrong. Based on my understanding of, like, how this world works and what S.W.O.R.D's job is in it, I can't tell you what he did wrong.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I felt like there was something that Jimmy Woo said, but I can't remember. I'm gonna have to go rewatch it.
Well, Jimmy Woo is like, well, they're gonna see that there's two visions, but he's allowed, like, there's nothing to say that S.W.O.R.D can't have vision. They're supposed to have vision. Mm-hmm. Maybe, and this is a stretch, but maybe they were supposed to destroy Vision, and rebuilding Vision is the thing he did wrong. But then, why is it the FBI's job to stop him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that doesn't really make sense. I just didn't understand why him being arrested was the, like, hurrah moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't related to anything.
We also, we didn't see Kat Dennings at all.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
She runs Haywood into the...
No, I mean, like, she had, like, a second on screen, and then that was it.
Yeah, because she doesn't do debriefings. I actually appreciated that.
That, it made me laugh. But we also
there was a lot going on. They didn't need the extra character. They didn't need a moment for her. Her moment was running the car. I still don't get... I don't know why it's justified that she did that. And look, I'm not on Haywood's side. I just... Sorry. I just don't know what...
Yeah.
I was very confused by the whole Haywood going bad thing because it didn't seem... They never justified it. Like, they never were like, he did this thing wrong. And I was like, well, no, he had vision. He was supposed to have vision. He showed up to stop these people from being kidnapped.
Yeah.
He told... I guess he was like, no, you guys can't go in there anymore? To Monica?
Really...
But that's like, he is her director? Like...
Yeah, I don't know.
He's wrong because Monica's right. And that's kind of what it felt like. They were like, well, Monica has to be... Monica and Jimmy are the good guys, and Haywood is the bad guy, so he's arrested at the end for...
Something. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
I guess
now it's bothering me. I need to.
I guess he had his agents shoot at the kids, but they weren't real children.
Confusing.
Is it illegal to kill fake kids? Because I've definitely killed kids in video games before, and I could get arrested.
I don't think that it's like a video game.
I just don't know. Like I don't know what he did wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wish we could have had a funny moment from Kat Dennings. We got the car moment, which was good.
Yeah, but that was
kind of
short-lived.
Yeah.
We found out that Wanda's brother was just an actor.
Ralph Boner,
who just lived in
that was
Westview.
So random.
Yeah, he's just an actor who was then freed. So that was cool, I guess.
That had the payoff of casting an X-Men actor.
Yeah, I was like, okay, and then the Skrull, is that what they're called?
Yes.
The Skrull
showed up
at the very end to say hi to Monica
and to tell her to go see Nick Fury.
She's like,
yeah, it was a little weird.
I was like, okay.
Upstairs?
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's a second floor to the movie theater?
Oh, space? You want me to go to space?
Yeah, but Monica's just like, I see what you're doing. Where she, like, literally just got powers. She has no idea.
Well, no, she's a pilot. Because the Skrull says, like, we hear you've been grounded. Because Monica's a pilot.
Right,
and
okay. Because I was like, what? How do you know she can, like, go into space?
No. She was going to fly up like us.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because I was like, what?
I also love that they were like, a friend of your mom's. And I was like, so you can say, we all know who Nick Fury is.
Well,
like, also, she knows who Nick Fury is. She's met Nick Fury.
Unless it's Captain Marvel, also a friend of her mom's.
I guess, but the Skrulls are literally working with Nick Fury.
Yeah,
we know that. Like, we saw that at the end of...
I'm just saying, it is a possibility.
Spider-Man Far From Home revealed that Nick Fury is in space working with the Skrulls.
Yeah.
We just know that that's a thing, so just say Fury needs you. Monica has met him.
Yeah.
Like, Monica works for SWORD. Nick Fury is working with SWORD. Like, these things
are
all...
you don't need to be so cryptic about it. Like,
it's just odd. Like, hey, Fury needs you. Cool. Instead, she's like, a friend of your mom's.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like, that's ominous. Okay.
Like, what are you pointing at?
Yeah. It was very odd.
It might not be... Space goes every direction. Like, you pointing up doesn't mean shit.
He might be over there.
He might be down. Like...
Oh my
unless you're like unless like the satellite that Nick Fury is on is in geosynchronous orbit with that theater. Pointing up means literally nothing.
I think that covers all the big moments.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It was a good season.
It was. I honestly, like, talking about it now, I actually kind of just want to go back and rewatch the whole thing.
I was saying, sorry, finish.
No, just like all together to really get the big picture at the same time.
I was saying, I really wish I could have seen this in theaters.
Yeah.
Some of the visuals were so beautiful. We watched this episode this morning, and there were some darker moments that, like, the sun was coming in our window, and it was a little fun. I definitely want to watch this, like, maybe later tonight.
Yeah.
When it's dark and I can actually see all the, like, richness of the colors and whatnot. Yeah, I really wish I could have seen this in theaters. It is interesting. Going into Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 2 weeks. it is interesting thinking about that, and kind of I'm a little like, God, I wish the production quality on this is so high, and they've done such a good job with these TV shows. I want to watch them in theaters. I really.
Yeah.
I think that it might just be that we've been watching so much
theaters.
at home.
Yeah.
We watch so much content at home.
Yeah.
But this was just so well done. The production quality, like, it's tough to call this television because this production quality is more money than TV shows get. Yeah. Like when we were watching Superman and Lois, even the first episode, but like the second episode where the budget had significantly dropped off.
Yeah.
It's just so noticeable. So, like, that show, and they're doing what they have with their money. I'm not trying to like bash Superman and Lois.
No. Like you have a budget
different thing.
And you make it work. But yeah, they like this is like next level.
There was Vision did not look one iota less immaculate in this than he did in any of the MCU movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Kevin. My good friend Kevin. You know who you are, Kevin. We both are bald and wear baseball caps.
So much in common.
Come on our show. I would love to talk to you. It'll be a softball interview because it'll mostly just be me going, how did you do this? How are you so good?
How? Please share.
How are you? Maybe the greatest living producer of film. And that's not just me saying that. Ben Affleck was like, yeah, he's done something no one else could do.
Yeah, for real.
Ugh. 2 weeks.
You crushed it.
2 weeks until
Falcon
Winter Soldier. We'll be back on the couch doing a spoiler chat for that. And until then, there's plenty of content from the Nerdy Nightly. We both stream our video games over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly for this boy.
And I'm over at twitch.tv/ClarsToCars.
We also are going to be having our spoiler chat for Raya the Last Dragon coming out at some point this weekend. So come back to the YouTube channel, check that out. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you don't miss stuff. And as always, my name is Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight. Bye.
Bye.